Greetings, all you Chinese seekers, Chinese speakers, citizens of the cosmos. Welcome back to another episode of Learn Chinese with Michael. If you've been following already, which I know you have, our first two episodes, we learned two amazing characters. And guess what? Today's third character will combine those two characters to create another character. So this is what I've been talking about. We're learning the building blocks that will create the foundation for future characters. So it's very important that you go back and watch the previous episodes so that you know these characters that we're about to talk about. So join me now as we learn this new third character, xiàng. Are you ready?
Yeah, it's on the whiteboard.
Okay. So, we remember this character here. What was this?
Mu,
Correct. Mu.
mu,
And what did mu mean?
wood,
Wood. Very good. Wood. And then we had another character. And what was this one called?
mu.
This one was also mu?
Yeah,
Wow. Okay. And then what did this one mean?
I.
Very good. Eye or eyes. Great. Now guess what? These two components together, mu for wood and mu for eyes, come together and make a character called xiàng.
xiàng,
So the pinyin for it is Xiang, but it's pronounced kind of like an S. Xiàng.
象,
Xiàng.
象,
So say it with me slowly. Xiàng.
象,
Xiàng.
象.
Very good. Remember, there are 4 tones in Chinese, but all the characters that we've learned so far are of the same tone, the going downwards tone. Xiang,
象,
mu,
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 xiang.
象.
And guess what xiang means? This is going to make you really, really excited. It means to look at, to observe. Isn't that interesting?
Yes.
To look at, to observe. Wow. So, one thing that I'm going to do throughout the entire course of us learning Chinese is I want us to understand the characters on a deep level. We're not just drawing pictures without knowing what's going on. We're really thinking about it. So let's take a look at this character. We already know what the two components are. We have wood,
Wood,
mu,
mu,
and we have eyes,
eyes,
mu.
mu,
Together make xiang.
象.
So,
So,
let's see, what could this mean? Maybe 2 eyes observing the wood? Let's picture us like yesterday in the wood mu episode. We were outside in nature. We were looking at the wood, weren't we, with our eyes? We were observing. We were looking at it. So we were using our eyes to look at the wood. That makes xiang. To observe. So, I also want us to do a mental exercise. I want us to actually take a second, take a moment here and actually visualize the characters in our minds, okay? So if you're comfortable closing your eyes, feel free to do so. Visualize the characters. There's mu for wood. There's mu for eyes. The eyes are looking at the wood. They are observing the wood. Xiàng, observe. That's very interesting. So something I like to do when I'm learning Chinese, of course, I like to write it, how we're going to practice writing it, but it's also important to be able to see it in your mind, because that means that you really know it and understand it. So let's do what we've done in previous episodes. Let's practice drawing these. Okay. Similar to previous episode, we have our wood here. We have our eyes. There's one, xiàng. Remember, after you finish drawing it, you say it one time. Xiàng, observe. Xiàng. 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 Very good. Xiàng, 2, 4, 6, 7. There's 7. Xiàng. Xiàng. There's 10. Very good. So one thing I want to mention is there is such thing as stroke order, which we talked about in a previous episode. So you want to follow the order and the direction that I'm doing the strokes, because that is traditionally how Chinese people are taught and the traditional way that you should do it. It makes sure that the characters are the same and consistent every time. There are actually 9 strokes in this character, meaning you're moving your pen or writing utensil 9 times. Isn't that pretty cool? So let's get back to it. I want us to focus now on the stroke order. Pay careful attention to the direction that I'm writing them, okay? So let's see, we start right here, okay? Left to right, up to down, okay? Looks like kind of like a cross, like we mentioned. So there's, looks like the little twigs, right? Branching off of the wood, okay? So we went left to right, up to down, then we did it sort of a diagonal to the left and then a diagonal to the right. That was 4 strokes, right? 4 strokes make up that character, mu. And then top to bottom, left to right, then top to bottom. So that actually was 1 stroke here. That's 1 stroke. Counts as 1 stroke. So far we're at 2, left to right, and close it up, left to right. This one has 5. This mu has 5. So together there are 9 strokes in xiàng. To observe. Let's look at it again, right? The eyes observing the wood. The eyes are observing the wood. They're looking at nature. Isn't nature a great thing? Isn't it a great thing to do if you're ever, feeling stressed, you're feeling down, something like that? It's always great to take a walk in nature. It can really make you feel better. The nature and the trees and the green and the wind and the sound and the birds. It's really nice, right? So let's keep going here. Pay attention to the stroke order, okay? xiàng, xiàng. Great. xiàng, xiàng. You notice after you start doing it, it starts getting easier and easier. xiàng, to observe. xiàng, xiàng, xiàng. Very good. We're at 20 times having done it. Do you think you can make it another 10? Well, I think you can. Sometimes I don't feel like doing something, but discipline is doing what you don't feel like doing or what you don't like you like to do it. So you almost have to trick your mind, trick your heart sometimes, because the end result is what? You want to be really good at Chinese, right? For whatever reason. You want to go to China, you want to impress a Chinese boy or girl, right? You want to talk to their Chinese parents, whatever it may be. You just like Chinese culture, whatever it is. That's the goal. Let's focus and let's get there. xiàng, 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 to observe. xiàng, 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 xiàng. And one last time to observe. xiàng. All right. So today we took the two first characters that we learned, those two building blocks, mu for wood, mu for eyes, and we put them together and we created a new character, xiàng, to look at, to observe. All right. It's very slow, it's very gradual, but that's okay. That's what we want. Remember, this language has been developing for 5,000 years, right? It's very slow, it's very gradual. The important thing is that you understand the building blocks and you get it down piece by piece. So, thank you again for taking the time to be here with Learn Chinese with Michael. xiàng, to observe. I'll be observing your comments in the comment section below and look forward to hearing some great things in the progress that you're making. Thank you. 谢谢. Goodbye. See you soon. 再见.